I told you, very good things happen when you watch Y in the Morning. I have just been seeing queens streaming in and out of studio. Wagwan. Yes, we are basic. Y in the Morning is the place you are at. Y254 channel is your favorite channel. 22162 is our text line. Start with YM254. And here we have a 8. Matia God, Matia God. Muogopa mafans wa God though, okay, but ni sawa. We have that coming up today as well, but I want at 2:30 p.m. Okay, it is at Kenyatta Stadium, Machakos. If I may, versus Wazito FC. Thank you so very much. Now, girls talk. Let's just dive into it, yes? 22162 is our text line. Start with YM254. Today, we're talking about the birds and the bees. Karibuni sana. Your topic imenifurahisha. What's your name?
My name is Jane Ikwabe. I'm a student at the Multimedia University of Kenya.
All right. I teacher.
Hi, I'm
Look
fine.
very nice.
Thank you.
Introduce yourself.
I'm a teacher Charity Atieno, the teacher Broadminds Academy, Kasarani, Hunters Estate.
All right. And smile already hata kabla nifikie.
I'm Rachel Mombo from the University of Nairobi. Yeah.
But I was told that one you have to say it a specific way. It is the University of Nairobi. You can't just say the yeah. All right. So karibuni sana. We're talking about the birds and the bees, and I don't really know how to tell. We are going to package it in such a way that is palatable for morning hours, and anyone can be part of the conversation. 22162 start with YM254. So let's ask the difficult questions first. Teacher, why don't parents or teachers talk to we're girls right now, so we're talking about girls. Why don't they talk to us about these things, about our developing bodies, that we're going to be attracted to the opposite sex? What's happening? Why don't you amani culture yetu, do we feel like it's taboo to talk about these things?
Number one, Val, in African traditional society, sexual organs were highly respected. An African was not allowed to touch the private part, to call it by its right name, or even to think about it. It was a taboo.
They will catch you thinking about it.
You know, it is something that was in you. You could grow up fearing those parts, but it's not something that has been passed by time or with the time. So we want to educate the girl child on sexual education, so that when they reach that stage, the adolescent stage, they know how to handle the challenges at that particular time.
In that same vein, Kitambo, when we used to sit next to our grandmothers and the fire was over there, they would tell us how to act as a girl. There's a difference between a girl and a boy. And then when we get older, before we get, start having families, they tell us how to take care of your husband, how to take care of your man, how to take care of your children. Kwani hiyo curriculum ilienda wapi?
Iko, it is there.
Where is it?
We do it. We teach life skill in school. In fact, even as early as class 2, we teach girl child. Mostly, I always like talking to girls. We tell them about sex education. Like where I am every Wednesday in the morning, we have a talk with the girl child. We teach them how to even hygiene. How they should even
it's very important.
Yeah, very important. But it's one thing that parents don't want to talk about. They shy. But together, that when we don't tell our children these things, when they get information from outside, from the peers, it's even worse. Yeah.
Now let me just come on that note. Did you have that conversation with your parents growing up? Like, okay, you're going to have these feelings. Don't be scared, don't run away, don't panic, they're normal, but this is how you handle it. Did you have that conversation?
Okay, for me, my parents just hinted on it, but not really having that talk. At times they could say, as in they took it, it was something like it's a big thing, it's something you can't even try doing. But most of the time, I think I learned it from my peers, personally, but I figured it out on my own. All right, we were empowered a long time ago, even before this girl child thinking through. Did you have that conversation with you?
Never.
Guy, like never. Like it's not even a thought.
Never.
How
my mother is a businesswoman. She goes to work at 5, comes back at 10 p.m.
Oh my God.
When will I get time to talk to her? She doesn't even mention it, nothing. I just had to find out when she took me ushago. Yes, I learned at class 8. I was learning ushago. So there was this on, it was on Wednesdays. They will
good things happen on Wednesdays.
They will need the girls and talk to them personally about the adolescent stage and all those things. Then you could learn them from there. But at class 8 level is when, you know, these things are, I saw them from people, but I was like, this is what happens. You just realize by your own.
What happens if you're, you know, I'm a very curious mind. So if I get a bit of information, nataka kujua inamalizia wapi. What happens if you have a curious mind and you don't really understand what you're going
you ask those who have gone through it. Like, let me call it periods. When I happened to go to periods when I was in Form 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, you know, when I was in class 8 and these class are like, ujaienda periods? Guy. Like, I took myself like I'm abnormal, you know.
And it's perfectly
You're
normal.
the only one in the class who has not gone for periods. So they're like, Guy, who bado jani? So I was like asking them, what happens? Kwani una bleed throughout? Like, what? If I didn't want to go through that experience at all, I felt like it was an awful experience.
What would happen if let's say your parent would come right now and say, let's have that discussion? What would be the first thing you'd ask?
Actually, right now, like at my age, it's a very awkward thing to do as a parent. Yeah, I believe it's something she, as a mother, could have done earlier, like maybe when I was younger, before my adolescent stage.
Do you feel that you know everything there is to be known about this particular topic?
I don't.
Because I'd like to believe your mother was once your age, and she has experience, and there are things I'm sure we collectively here don't know. That's, you know, people who have experience. So is it that it's awkward because, you know, some things that you've already discovered by yourself you don't really want to?
Like I've discovered a lot by myself already. So some things are like, she'll be repeating what I know already. So I don't tend to imagine she'd sit me down, start telling me about sex right now, and I know like literally not everything, but at least what is supposed to be known. Yeah.
Our parents speak in parables, Teacher Charity. Even our teachers. Kitambo, you used to just a boy and a girl were not supposed to be alone together, or sijui we're not supposed to find ourselves in funny situations. Then immediately you have your menses, pregnancy, immediately. Like they just see a womb. They don't even see your face anymore. So there's pressure coming with being a girl child.
Yeah, it's true, Val, that there are so many pregnancies that we ought to have avoided that have happened to our girls. Let's say I have 2 little girls.
Yours?
Yeah.
You're a mommy?
I am a mother.
What?
A mother of 2. Yes.
Okay.
When I came from the hospital with my second born, my first born asked me, Mami, huyu mtoto umempata wapi? But then I had to explain to her, because suppose I told her that I've bought her, or I went somewhere, I've been given this kid. Definitely, this child will one day get the right information from someone.
How old is your firstborn?
My firstborn is 4 years old, and the other one is 1.5 years old. So I had to explain to her in a way that what we want to avoid is telling lies to our children, so that when they get information from outside, they trust the information from outside than us. Yeah, they now lose that how do we put it? That trust that we can tell them the truth. Let's say I always talk to girls even about the menstrual and everything. I tell them that one day when you wake up in the morning and find some stains there, don't think that maybe you are bitten by a rat.
Or you're dying. There's an animal.
Or maybe you are pricked by a nail. Oh, it is something that is there.
That prick.
And we prepare them for their life to come. Yeah, so we always talk to them openly. And it is an encouragement to other teachers and parents. Let us sit our girls down. Let us tell them all these things that are happening to us.
That's phenomenal. At 4 years old, you're being told. Do you know what my mother told me? At Mami, where did I come from? I got you from the butchery. And never asked such questions ever again. Like, nipate tu mtu hapo anauliza, then I listen for the answer. There's no for volunteering information. I did ask you, how would you feel if, let's say, your parent came and now wanted to discuss things at your age, at whatever level of experience you have reached?
Well, I'll feel uncomfortable because these are the things she ought to have told me when I was at that stage of adolescent stage. Yes, I feel very uncomfortable with that.
Okay, see, this is why we're having this particular talk, so that we try and break that glass ceiling. So from us here to our little sisters and from our teacher, we're trying to show you that it's not something you should be running away from. It's very normal. It's part of growing up. But teacher, why is it too late? Why do we feel like it's too late? Because these are 2 points of view and they're saying the same thing, that at some certain age you're not supposed to, but there's so much more. They're going to get married, they're going to have children, there's all that wonderfulness. Ama, it's just this particular topic that you don't want to talk about.
And that's why I told you that I started with my girls when they're still young. Suppose your mother told you all these things while you are still young, you will grow up being close to her and being open to her, such that even when she wants to tell you about sex education, you will not shy away from it. Let's say, for example, Val, I have a daughter who maybe is being disturbed by a neighbor somewhere, and because I'm harsh, anytime she tells me something, I put her off. Very soon, very many things will happen without me knowing, and she will not tell you. Someone like me, the day I was proposed to by a man, I was always close to my father. I could not tell my mother because I knew she was going to put me off. I told my dad that I found someone, I want to get married, and it was so strange. Imagine now my father going to tell my mother about that. He said it should be the other way around. So let us always be close to our children, and let us start teaching them these things when they're still young, so that they grow up being close to us and being open to us.
Okay, now I want to throw 2 scenarios here. I understand what she said was very important. Her mother is a businesswoman. You cannot fault someone trying to feed their children, and if they have to do it from sun up to sun down, and there's no time for conversation in between, you cannot come and tell them you have failed as a parent. No, my priority first is to make sure you've eaten, you're educated, you know, you're thriving as a person. Feelings usually in African context, they come like number 7 or number 8. But either way, there are things that she needs to learn. So how do we break that? Number 2, I find that you hear of a girl getting pregnant in primary school or in high school, na always ni mtoto alipotea. But alipoteaje na kuna mtu alimguide, hakuna mtu alimwambia, okay lady, you're this young, you're this is expected of you. Yes, you're changing, your body is changing. Some change faster than others. So don't do these things. This happens after that. But sasa si tunaona tu results, tunaona tu mimba. Na tunasema yeye ndiye amepotea. Where was that boy was first of all impregnating her? We don't talk about that. We just talk about the girl who has to drop out. Oh, say maisha imeharibika. No, why are we not telling our girls what is right?
And that is where we go wrong.
Who first contribute?
Okay. I think parents go wrong there, because I think most parents tend to cure before they prevent something, and you know, prevention is better than cure itself. So if your child comes home, she's pregnant, that's when you tend to tell your child, like having a boyfriend, or maybe no, that's when you talk of relationships. But before then, you never even talked to her, sat her down and told her this is bad, this is good, and that's where they go wrong. Yeah, a parent should talk to a child before the adolescent stage, because when you're an adolescent, we tend to be shy. We don't want to talk to our parents. So I think they should start as early talking to us, so that it grows.
But even you're painting us as very nice beings. Do you know what a teenage girl does when she's a teenager? She's just confused, and she's not kibishana na mamake. She doesn't want to be told anything.
No, but I think the parent was never close with the child.
No. We are not going to speak from the point of a parent, because we're not parents. We're going to I give you that authority because you're a parent. We are going to say that, okay, my mother did not do this for me, and I think this is what I wanted. Or for my sister, for my little sister watching me, this is how I'm going to advise you. I'm not your mother, but this information, I wish someone came and gave it to me. Yes. So how would you like to frame that? Unasikia tu sijui msichana amepotea, but like what would you like to tell her?
Okay, as for me, I think that's when you should go talk to your parents, go be close to your parents, leave your peers alone by that time, because your peers will tend to tell you so many things. I think they're the first one who will lead you to that thing, because peers have that thing when you ask them something, they'll explain it in another way, very and you'll tend to follow it. Like maybe if you ask someone what sex, they'll tend to tell you it's something so supernatural, it's unique, you should try this.
Supernatural.
Yeah. So you end up being so curious, but I think it's better you talk to your parents, because your parent can never lie to you. I think in my own perspective, parents will tell you in the biblical way, like maybe sex is something sacred, it's holy, it's not supposed to be misused, and so you follow that.
You know what I want you to do? I want you to on that same tip. Did you hear what she would prefer as someone's daughter or someone's niece or someone's sister?
Yeah.
Now, what is stopping us from going to ask our parents? Why are we sitting and waiting for that proper age that we reach, that our parents will approach us and just, why can't we go, excuse me, hi, I was told there's this thing, and when you do together you get a baby, and then why are we not taking initiative as girls?
The closer you are to your parents, the more open you will be. If my parents give me attention, so, there is a point in our life that we need attention. As children, as adolescents, as everything, we need attention. So at this time when you'll be closer to your parents, you'll be free talking to them and asking them, what is this? Why is this happening? And you'll be like knowing everything.
Okay.
But if your parent is not even closer to you, how will you even approach your parent?
All right. So we're hearing different sides. I like that. Parent, you will come, you will rebut now, you will help us, yes? 22162 is our text line, start with YM254. We have Mimi nilijifunza hizo vitu from cha baba na cha mama. Nilizijua hata before nijijue. Lorraine from Karingata. Teacher, help us. Cha baba kalongo yani ndio itafanya tujue vitu zingine.
That is bad, and that's why I told you earlier on that as parents we must be very close to our children. Parents have now left everything for teachers, and find that in some other schools they're very busy with the book work that they don't even get time to talk to the girl child. But then with I still say with the new curriculum, it is incorporated in each and every lesson. While teaching, we'll be talking about the contemporary issues to the children.
Really?
Yeah, as early as class 1, you teach and you bring them in the rape, the sex education that we are talking about. You find any relevant contemporary issue and you bring it in. You incorporate it in that lesson. And on what she was saying, that you find that what you are telling her, that advising a teenager may not be easy. It is true. A teenager is someone who still doesn't know herself for himself.
But they think they know.
They think they know.
But they really don't.
There's a person who still doesn't know whether she is an adult or a child. She is in between. So you find that talking to this person may not be easy. Only if you started while this person was still young. That's when you can manage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we have some girls are closer to their dads than their moms. Ndo maana day one ya kwenda moon wanalia ati wameumwa na punda. My friend. Yeah? Okay, umeumwa quite funny. It's okay. 22162 is our text line once again. Start with YM254. Just join the conversation. So now what happens in your case? Are you closer to your mom or closer to your dad?
I think I'm close to my mom.
Your mom.
Yeah.
And you? Your mom?
My dad.
Really? So what happens if you start, like when you start menstruating and he's the only person you feel you can talk to? How do you start explaining? Hey, daddy, kuna venye...
Yes, I'm closer to my dad than my mom.
You had that conversation with your father?
In fact, my dad usually bought pads for me.
What?
My dad was the first one to buy pads for me.
Can we just applaud that African man who is doing such things? We appreciate you, King. What?
And every visiting, he came. Newspapers, fruits, breads, pads. Pad must. It was a must. Pads was to be there.
Your daddy had your back from way back when. All right, we have another comment. Walimu wanafaa kuanza special lessons for girls on puberty. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? Why? You don't agree?
Oh yeah, they should.
Yeah? What would you expect from such a class?
Like, students are open to their teachers actually. They are open to their teachers more than parents.
Because that's the people we see more of during the day. Yeah.
Actually, you can end up asking teachers so many questions. Like me in our class, like we used to ask teachers most questions than we could even ask our own parents. and teachers are ready to answer, because it's like a class, you are learning. We ask them so many questions that we're not even supposed to ask. We go off topic, actually. Yeah,
I like that.
I believe they should.
Yes, so we appreciate also teachers today for doing the do. At 7 years, I asked my mom where babies came from, and she told me it's God who gives. When I later learned people, you know, procreate, I stopped trusting my mommy and became a daddy's daughter. Okay. I feel that's a bit extreme, because my mother told me I came from a butchery, so it's struggle yako sielewi. So maybe someone who understands the struggle help me out.
And that is what I was telling you, that when we don't tell our children the truth, when they get this truth from outside, they stop trusting us. So just tell them that a doctor and God and doctors are good friends. So I had a child in my womb, and you live and tell him or her that you saw me some weeks ago, my stomach was swollen. This baby was inside. And I know the next question will be, where do they come? How do they come out? You know, children are so much
and they have
curious.
No filter.
Yeah.
How? Why?
Just find a way of telling them that it may not look vulgar or too big for them, but just put them just close to the truth, or the truth in a polite way. Yeah.
Okay. Is there a fine line between educating or empowering the girl child or a young girl on this information and influence? Like, you know, there are things that we learn at different stages of our lives. So for example, I can't start telling a 6-year-old about puberty because they don't understand what it means. They're not breaking out into pimples or anything. So are we saying there's a timeline to have sex education? Is there a certain age that we must start? Is there ever a certain age where we stop? Is there a certain time period that we stop learning because we know everything? What's the best? If there's a new mother out there, has a 1-year-old, has a 2-year-old, and unajua anatembea kwa mtaa, he's going to see things, she's going to see things, and come home and ask questions. Badala kumchapa, what do we do?
What we normally do, you know, we educate them according to their levels. That young one, you first teach them about their private part and tell them that nobody should touch your private part, including you. You should not play with it. We tell them there's a little hygiene when you go to the toilet, how do you do it, and all those. And then earlier on when they reach maybe class 6 or that puberty, now you tell them the changes they expect and how to go with the changes. Yeah.
I like that.
And the teaching never ends. Education is from birth to death. It will never end. Even at my age, at times I go back to my mother and ask her, how do we do this?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, Cheki, Sunona, there's still time for us to go ask questions. Yes, don't panic. It's never wait. Teacher Charity, what do you do to boys who take advantage of girls' confusion during puberty? At your concerned mother.
What I do to boys? Like we mostly have male teachers talking to the boys, and we also tell them the risks of maybe getting involved into sexual activities at that age. So they know, and the girls also know. We don't only teach the girls, so we educate both boys and girls on it. Yeah.
Right, so 22162 again is our text line. Start with YM254. There's someone who says, Rachel, big up your dad. I would like to have such a man for a father-in-law. Kindly give me your number. Did I not tell you to focus on the topic at hand? 22162, start with YM254, and let's focus on the queens and the queen topic of today. Huyo mrembo ameka karibu na wewe anajitaje Facebook and IG. Kindly help the boy child. Max from your end. You've refused to focus, it's fine. What is your handle?
My Instagram handle is Jane Becky. Also on Facebook, I'm Jane Becky. Yeah.
And Rachel, what is your handle?
Rachel Chacha, everything. Yeah.
Just in case they are shy even you to chat. Are you on Facebook?
Yeah.
Tell us where.
I use Atinde Nyarkaboch in Facebook. Yeah.
Wow. Again?
Atinde Nyarkaboch.
Okay, there you go. Any queen here you want, and me, I'm Kalamival. So now you all have all our handles. Might as well just follow and let's get busy. Yes. 22162 is our text and start with YM254. Guys, as we wind this up, tell me how, I don't know, I really like talking to the people out there. I really like being very one-on-one with the queens. So talk to your younger self. Tell us something, just to summarize this conversation that we've had.
To summarize, I'll just urge parents, be closer to your children. Let them know these things. There's a time for everything, a time for every stage. Let them know what's going to happen to them, so that they may also be closer to you, so that when they have some questions, they'll be closer to you, and they'll be free, and they'll quickly ask you. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Same thing, I think. Parents should be close with their kids.
And kids make the effort to be close to your
their
parents.
It's okay. And so as your child grows, tend to be closer to your child. Don't let her be taught by the outside world, because it's harsh. Yeah. And so, yeah, that's what I urge all parents to do.
Teacher, what would you like to tell them?
Well, I just want to tell the youths, the teenagers, that they let them be ready to learn. And when they are warned, let them not wait until that last minute when they are already messed up. Is when they are like, how do I do this? Is when they come they come running seeking for the advice. Let them be ready to learn, not only by experience. Let them see what others do. Today there are so many places where we can get this information from. And let them be very careful. And let them be very careful on whom or where they get the information from. Yeah.
How? All right, so guys, we're wrapping this up, and I have someone asking you, Ati, what will you tell your children that you were not told? And that question was directed to both of you, but I know for a fact that you answered it during the interview or during the discussion. So you must go to our YouTube channel, Y254, and click on the notification thing, so when this one comes through, you'll get all your answers. Yes? Yeah, my name is Valentine, or Color Me Val on everything. And right now, we have Shiko Kaitani coming up next with Hello Day.